Cardinal Lucius. The mere mention of his name made men shiver and fall silent. Although it was never mentioned openly, rumor had it he pursued his interests with merciless rigor. Is this why the Emperor gave him command of the crusade? Or had Lucius acquired his powers by more sinister means? While the whole world was wondering what the Cardinal was planning, he was already thinking of building a harbor from which the massive army would soon set sail for the Orient to seize the Promised Land.
I bestow on you the honor of building the harbor for my Crusader army. The fleet will set sail from there, and with God's blessing, will vanquish the faithless enemy.
But my lord, you only have me to thank that the preparations have run so smoothly up to now. Allow me, your loyal servant, to take care of everything from now on.
From now on, I am making you personally responsible for everything. Make sure you soon ready.
You heard the Cardinal. I'll have the say here. But don't worry. There will be enough menial tasks I can entrust you with. What are you standing around here for? Why don't you build a warehouse where we can store the goods to build the harbor?
I still have a few crates of tools in the doors of my storehouses. I still have a few crates of tools in storage. Do come by, and I'll be happy to sell some to you. Aha!
Just a little something for the journey, and we'll get going.
Crusade? Ha! I know enough peaceful ways of converting the unbelievers, with good food and a hearty draft. But then again,
Heavens! I had completely forgotten how exhausting the path down to the valley can be.
Marvelous. Do you think you could sell me the surplus from the stone production for my cathedral? Only once the harbor is completed, of course. Marvelous. Extracting iron ore is the first important stage in iron production. charcoal burner has started work already. Marvelous.
Just a little something for the journey, and we'll get going. Here, your goods. The way becomes ever more arduous.
Crusade? I know enough peaceful ways of converting the unbelievers. With good food and a hearty draft. But then again, who asks my opinion?
So, you're working on the first tools. That's wonderful.
Production has been disrupted.
Crusade? I know enough peaceful ways of converting the unbelievers. With good food and a hearty draft. But then again, who asks my opinion?
So, the captain has received his instructions. Wonderful. Now you can concentrate fully on your more important quests.
One of your plants has stopped producing.
Splendid. The first ship can soon be launched.
There is a lack of company in your settlement. Your people are longing for company. Ship.
What a magnificent ship. And always a good few inches of water under the keel.
Production has been disrupted. One of your plants has stopped producing goods.
You've done it at last. Great. Perhaps we can finally start building the actual harbor now? If a harbor is to be suitable for a Crusader army, it must have a harbor master's office. Well, what are you waiting for? An engraved invitation?
It is done. The Crusader ship is finished. May God protect this ship and bless all those who are prepared to fight for the true faith.
The Emperor talked incessantly about friendly relations with the Orient. And now,
The preparations for the crusade have been very successful. But my band of knights is larger than I had ever imagined. I need linen garments. They should all have new clothing before we set off.
this crusade is such a cross to bear. If I now have to set aside men and materials for forecasts, it'll throw the building of the cathedral back weeks, even months. You must help me with this matter. Is it true? Have you brought the stone for the Imperial Cathedral? Thank you so much. If you can spare any more stone, I'll happily take it off your hands.
Production has been disrupted.
Praise the Lord! Have you finally brought me the linen garments? This clothing is wonderful, thank you so much. The knights will wear them with honor. Dear God, so many knights want to accompany me to the Promised Land. I must build more ships immediately. I beg you, help me with this important quest.
Shipbuilding completed.
Will you submit to God's will? God bless you. Now I can build more ships. I would like to thank you appropriately. I have seen your future in a vision. God protect you.
You call that an expansion? The storerooms are hardly bigger than before. This is totally unacceptable. Good things come to those who wait. I'd better view the building to assure myself personally that everything is shipshape.
It is done. The Crusader ship is finished. May God protect this ship and bless all those who are prepared to fight for the true faith.
We need storehouses to store the goods. You can see the size of my Crusader army and the amount of supplies needed. Get a move on.
One of your plants has stopped.
There you are. I knew you could do it. At last I can store provisions and equipment here. You say the harbor is completed? I'd better see this for myself. Hoist the sails. The harbor construction could certainly have been completed much more quickly. Well, we still have much to do. From now on, you will help me with the rest of the preparations. The harbor has been extended, the Crusaders assembled. That's the way it's done. The Cardinal will reward me handsomely for my services. I have asked the best armorers in the Empire to come to equip the Crusader army with new weapons.
I am to lead the vanguard of the Crusader army. Me! I pray to God daily that he may strengthen me for this momentous quest. I am so afraid of failure.
It's incredible how many knights are prepared to take up arms for God and their fatherland. I immediately need more ships to transport them all to the Promised Land. Get them for me.
God be praised! You have completed the harbor. My captains are already under orders to assemble the vanguard of the Crusader fleet there.
What are you waiting for? If you don't build this tavern soon, the knights will start rampaging over the land.
One of my ships was damaged during the crossing. A sign from God that all the ships must be ship-shape again before we set off for the Orient.
Well, this is a start anyway. Maybe you will manage to completely satisfy my request eventually. Are you bringing me that iron at last? Or must the armorers wait even longer for you? Is this of purest quality? We don't want the knights' blades to break when they confront the enemy.
You have complied with God's wishes. Now all of these ships will be able to make the long voyage to the Orient in perfect condition.
Now that the harbour is completed, you should perhaps reconsider your transport routes and issue new orders to the captain.
News from the Cardinal. We are setting sail. I shall lead these ships eastward to shake the very foundations of this spurious faith. Don't worry, we will meet again soon. The angels have promised.
Our Lady, Madame d'Artois, had barely left the city. So many people have moved away since Madame d'Artois set off for the Orient. She'd be so disappointed if she returns to find her hometown empty. I beseech you, help me spare her this humiliation. The city has been deserted since Our Lady left. You need only go to the marketplace. It's as quiet as the grave.
Shipbuilding completed. The people are rampaging through the streets. Shipbuilding completed.
You see, most of them have left already. Oh, and merely because Madame d'Artois has gone to war.
Your settlement is lacking faith. Production has been disrupted. Shipbuilding completed. There is a lack of company in your settlement. Shipbuilding completed. Production has been disrupted.
Urgently need those transport ships. Must the crusade be delayed just because of you? You don't need to worry about these ships anymore. I am now taking command.
You do your best for the people of this town, and yet it seems to me that only the old and sick have returned. In the name of all that's holy, where are the children?
Good. Cardinal Lucius will be extremely pleased with my work.
Your settlement has been awarded a new status.
Did you notice how secretively Guy Fawkes was behaving? I get the strange feeling that there's something fishy about this crusade.
Aha! A toolmaker's workshop. Of course, I'm right to assume that you built it to supply the Crusaders. In that case, I await your delivery.
I thank you from the bottom of my heart for looking after our city. Also in the name of Our Lady, Madame d'Artois.
Production has been disrupted. Shipbuilding completed. Production has been disrupted. One of your plants has stopped producing goods. One of your plants has stopped.
This dive doesn't look particularly inviting, but it will have to do for the knights.
Production has been disrupted.
Have you finally brought those tools that have been taking so long? Have you carried out the quest with great diligence? At last, we will soon set sail. Order everyone aboard. Cardinal Lucius will join us later when we are assembled at the border of the Oriental realm.
I've heard some worrying rumors about this crusade. These shoddily built ships. Devils with their must in private.
Hurry up and cast off! The boiling from those brats is utterly unbearable. They should be grateful that they are able to contribute to this crusade.